What is up, everyone? I am here today to talk to you about a free-to-play game. We all like that word, free. Of course, free-to-play means that there's hidden surcharges and, things you can buy in the game, but at least it is free-to-play. And that game is a Japanese PSN game. You can get it if you have a PSN, or a PS3, I mean. You just need to make a Japanese PSN. I'm not going into how to do it. It's really not that hard. Just more so trial and error above all. There's tutorials of bajillion on the internet. So please do not ask me how to do it. It's very simple. The game is very easy to find. But when you do find it, it is called Mobile Suit Gundam Battle Operation. Like I said, free to play. Who does not love free to play? And so, to start this off, we all know I'm a huge fan of war and conflict in general. Not any sort of specific war, or I'm an army guy or anything. I just like war and conflict in general. One side versus the other side, for whatever reason, the reason could matter less to me, I am all for some bloodshed. Now, how does this war play out? It's kind of like an American Revolution sort of war. Let's see, everyone's fighting with the bayonets, or in this case, the beam sabers or the axes. The reloads take a really long time, like, you gotta load the musket and all of that, and it takes an unnecessarily long amount of time to even, bother using guns. It's kind of slow, it's kind of clunky. It's not like Call of Duty, like fire 60 rounds out of a clip and pop the clip out 5 seconds later, you load the clip in, pull it back, and you're good to go. It's not like that at all. It's a much more slower paced game, but it's actually a pretty fun game. I would recommend, if you have any sort of interest in, especially if you're a Mobile Suit Gundam fan, to definitely get this and try it out. Like I said, what's better than free? Nothing. The basic premise of the game. 2 sides. The Earth Federation Force, or the EFF, I think it's the Earth Federation Force, and the Zeon. So pretty much good versus evil in terms of the Gundam-like series. And the matches play out very simply. It's a point-based game. And there's different points along the map that you can capture. It's like a capture the flag sort of game. And you get points for, capturing the points, killing other mechs, doing damage to other mechs. And in special cases, you can go to the other enemy's base, plant a bomb, and if it explodes, you get like 950 points. So that's a real game changer right there. But usually you'll just get points through, mostly killing people, but also through capturing the points if you can, are able to do that. What makes this game different than other Mobile Suit Gundam games is now you can actually go on foot as a foot soldier. What's the benefit of that? Pretty much 2 things, and 2 things only. You can only capture the points or plant the bomb. You can only do that on foot, so you get out of the mech for that. And you can also repair your mech, which is very useful. But other than that, there are literally no benefits to being on foot. It takes a ridiculous long amount of time to travel around. And trust me, I know, like, let's say you get out of your mech before it blows up, and then you're pretty much stuck. There's no, like, run button or transport or anything like that. I mean, there are some, like, other vehicles aside from the mechs that you can use, like a tank, and there's, like, this little, like, transport bike you can ride, but those are usually by the base, which is where you would summon your mech. So you will spend a lot of time, if you get out at the wrong time, just flying, slowly flying, slowly flying, slowly flying, until you get to a capture point or anything like that. But it's very, there's not too many benefits to being on foot. In the trailer, they made it seem like it was going to be like these epic battles where like the mechs are fighting in the background and you have people on the front lines like shooting it. It's nothing like that. You will spend, I'd say, 90 to 95% of the battle in a mech or Gundam. So what makes this game not free to play? Where are the charges hidden? Because you always know there's some hidden charges in free to play types of games. Well, the way that this game works out is it controls the amount of time that you can play. You are given 3 energies, and these energies will recharge after 2 hours. And, once 1 energy for 1 game. So once all 3 energies are done, and you don't have any reserve energies, which I'll get to in a second, no more game. You're done, I'm sorry, that's all you can do. Where they get you with the charges is you can buy up to 99 reserve energies. And what reserve energies are they just don't recharge. It's like you pay for them, and now you're allowed to play more matches or whatever. Which honestly, I think that's a pretty terrible free-to-play model. But I would much rather have them control the amount of time that I can play instead of completely unbalancing the game. Like, oh, well, this guy paid for this mech and all these upgrades, while I'm just using the free-to-play version, so my mech sucks. So I'd much rather have them control, you know, I only get 3 matches, and then they recharge like 2 to 3 hours later. I don't really exactly know when the actual charging begins because I can't read any Japanese at all. So that's how they usually get you, and there's also different like perks you can buy that are like team perks, like experience plus 25%, you know, the points you use to buy upgrades up 25%, that sort of stuff. I just never use them because you need to be able to access the Japanese PSN store, which I use. I play this game on my American account, so I can't access the Japanese PSN store. Plus I can't read Japanese, so I wouldn't even be able to tell you what half the things did anyway. But at least, you know, the free-to-play model, you can play the game and just, you know, not spend an absolute dime on it, which I have not, and still get full use and advantage out of the game. They do give you, I think, 9 reserve energies once you'll level up the first time. Once you level up the first 9 times, you'll reach a new rank. Then they don't give you any more reserve energy. So I have a few reserve energies sitting in the tank, but they don't, you know, keep coming back. That's for, you know, reserves in case I want to play extra games or anything like that. Now, trying to navigate this game in Japanese was very difficult, and this kind of ties into my talk about the upgrades. Like I said, I think I said this, the blueprints, you'll like, when you win a battle, you get more blueprints than when you lose a battle. And what the blueprints are is just a percentage towards, you know, unlocking a new upgrade, mech, or gun that you can buy with points that you have accumulated through the battles. So you will do that, and it's just very difficult to, you don't really know the benefits of the perks that you are using. It'll say like, the only way I'll know is if it'll have like HP 200, because then I'll just assume it'll add 200 HP or something like that. But they're not going to give you any sort of like detrimental upgrades. All the upgrades are pretty much good, so I just equip them all and hope that they're making my mech better. But you know, I'm usually pretty good at, in these Japanese games, being able to kind of like circumnavigate my way through the menus, like Initial D, Hokuto no Ken, although that isn't too deep with the Japanese, but I did the whole history mode in Hokuto no Ken, and that was a pain in the ass. And it just, playing so many different Japanese games, I've kind of been able to figure my way out through these menus and kind of see, you know, what each option on there's a certain, it's you know, just being a video gamer, you kind of know these things, but it's not easy at first because they love that circle button for some reason, and when you'll pick an upgrade to buy, it'll bring you to like this new like store sort of screen, and the game uses X most of the way through as the accept button, but then on that screen the circle becomes the confirm button. Like for the longest time I wasn't able to purchase upgrades because I kept on hitting X, thinking X was the confirm button, but no, only on that one screen is circle the confirm button. So that was just, you know, other than that, it's not too crazy with the Japanese. Controls are very easy to figure out. And how do the actual Gundams, or mechs, or whatever you want to call them, control in the game? Kind of clunky. There's like an X is like a dash button, triangle is like this tackle button where if you like hit the guy, he'll be stunned and you can do like a little bit of extra damage with your beam saber or whatever. But if you miss, you're kind of a sitting duck. And, I mean, overall, this is not a game for American players, and let me tell you why. We are ruthless when it comes to shooting games or any sort of competitive game. We're like, fight, must win, you know. Playing so much Call of Duty, playing so much Battlefield, playing GoldenEye, like, I've just first-person shooter trained since a very young age. And the Japanese, they're a very much more laid-back, respectable culture. Whereas, you know, winning isn't the utmost priority, where in these games, winning is the utmost priority. So, I've come to see, you know, the Americans seem to be a little bit more go die hard or go home sort of thing compared to the Japanese players, where it's just like, oh yeah, I'll play the game, I'll enjoy it. But, you know, I'm always going for those points, I'm always trying to cut those people up with the beam saber. People seem to really love that beam saber, and melee is just, there's way too much delay between melee attacks. I can understand you don't want the people just swinging back and forth, but everything takes so slow. It takes so long to get another hit in with the beam saber, to reload guns. It just takes a really, really ridiculously long amount of time. Like, what's the guy doing? Is he putting the Gundam or mech on autopilot, going all the way down to the gun, you know, changing the clip out himself, then running all the way back up so he can start firing again? I mean, it should not take that long to reload. It should not take 20 seconds to reload a gun. I'd say, especially when it's just like a basic, you know, early level machine gun, that thing should reload quick. It shouldn't be like this 45-second, exaggerating a bit, but you'll see what I mean if you play the game. The reloads do take a specific, you know, amount of time, and it's kind of annoying. But I mean, for free, you can't really complain. $0.00 is a good price in my book. So I think if you have any sort of interest and you want something that's kind of different to play, you know, and you're a Gundam fan, I think as a Gundam fan, you will be able to, this will appeal to you much more. I think if you're just looking for, oh, I want a new great shooter to play, this isn't it. But it's free to play, and it's not a bad game, so I think it's worth a shot. Alright, so I think that's pretty much it for my Gundam. Oh, wait. We gotta talk about maps. Hold the presses. Alright, so there is only 3 maps at this point in the game. I played this game since it first came out, and there was 1 map. Then they added, the next Monday, they added a second map, the desert map. Not a bad map, a little bit more, much more long range than the first map. And then guess what they added as the third map? The first map, but completely, just like, it's completely the same first map, but all it did was change the time of day. And I mean, if you are making a game and you want people to invest in it, especially with a free-to-play model where you want people to, you know, invest money into the game, don't just give them one map and then a map each week. Give them a few maps to start out with and then add more maps. So 1 map on launch day is unacceptable in my opinion. And they're going to keep adding maps. I'm just waiting for that city map that they showed in the trailer. But it's just, for me, I think that there should be a little bit more juice in terms of maps and that sort of stuff, not just, oh, here's 1 map, but we'll add 1 each week. Well, you know, what are people going to do in between them? Because, I mean, I guess it kind of works out because you only get 3 plays unless you buy reserve energy, which I will not do, and then you can kind of just go from there. It's not like you're investing so much time into the game at one point during the day. It's kind of a game you got to play for a while, then give it a break it puts you in timeout to recharge the energy. Then you can play again, then time out, and that's kind of how it works. But okay, I think that's everything for this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if you downloaded this, and maybe we can play together or something. I do know how to set up multiplayer. Like I said, I'm pretty decent at being able to navigate my way through these menus. So anyways, guys, I will see you guys whenever the next video is. Peace out.